name is Derek from Tomcat Gas Training, and welcome to this video on tools that trainee plumbers and gas engineers are going to need to be able to do their job. Now, before we get into this video, please could you take some time to subscribe, because it helps the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, because you want YouTube to tell you when we're uploading videos. Even I don't know at the moment. And don't forget to give me that thumbs up. Now then, what's this video all about? Well, like I say, this video is to help apprentices, plumbers, gas engineers to find out exactly what tools they're going to require. Now, I've been asked quite a few times from a load of different guys on do a tool review. And I've had a look at a few tool reviews on YouTube, and they're a bit boring, aren't they? Just showing you tape measures and things. So what I've decided to do is we're going to go to B&Q, which is our local DIY superstore here in Ashton, and I'm going to find out exactly what I can buy tools wise to help plumbing and gas apprentices, and exactly how much is it going to cost to start up my first toolbox. So shall we stop waffling, messing around, and without further ado, shall we get on with it then? So we're here finally at B&Q. I think first job is we need to get a trolley. So let's go down the plumbing aisle and see what plumbing tools we can find here first. Let's start with the pipe cutters, because that's the most important thing when you're plumbing. You need to cut pipe. So we've got lots of them here. Now, my advice would be don't buy the cheap ones, because they're rubbish. But when you're starting off and you've got a low budget, you might have to buy the cheap ones or see which are the best value for money. So we've got Rothenberger pipe cutters. These are 22mm ones and they're 20 quid. Or you buy a set of 15 and 22 for 15 quid. So we'll go for them. You can always upgrade. We're also going to need 28 pipe cutters, but we've only got Rothenberger ones and they're 25 quid. So we'll have to go for them. Now, for bigger pipes than 22 and 28, so like our 32 and 35 mil, we're going to need wheel head cutters. We've got these are 15 quid, so we'll have one of them. But we also need to cut 8 and 10 mil pipe. So we could either buy a little Rothenberger set here at 15 quid, or we could buy that one at 4 quid. So if your budget's tight, you can buy that one, but if you really need to do small pipes, you can use that. Now this one says it does up to 22 mil, and this one does up to 28, I think. Yeah, it does up to 28. So we'll go for that one, because we're on a budget. So, as well as copper pipe, we need to cut plastic pipe. Now, Monument do these plastic pipe cutters here, or we could buy these to cut in plastic pipes. So these are a tenner, and this is 13 quid. But this will do like your 15 and 22 mil plastic pipe. This will do your waste pipe as well. You do up to 42 mil that one. So out of those, what we're going to get, these seem to be better value for money, so we'll get them. But you should get them as well, but there you go. But Monument for 46 quid do this set, which does 15, 22, inch and a quarter and inch and a half plastic pipe, and these are only for plastic pipe. Can we get them? Yeah, we'll get them. Stop the budget. So that's pretty much what you're going to need for cutting pipe. Now, Monument also do these 15 and 22 olive pullers. I don't need olive pullers because I can do it with a pair of grips, but if you're just starting off, these are a handy tool to have, and also when you're in confined spaces. So we'll get some of them. Okay, now then, bending pipe. Here we've got a 15 mil, well, we've got 15 mil bending springs, and there's a 22 one. That should be there, it should be in this. So we've got 15 and 22 bending springs. Now then, I must have been an apprentice last time I used a bending spring, or when I was teaching at colleges I used bending springs. But I'm going to do a video on using these, so I'm going to get them, but you don't need them for your toolbox because you're better off with a pipe bending machine. Don't count these because they're only for another video. Now then, for 20 quid for 8 and 10 mil bender. 20 quid a bag, well 18 quid, nearly 19 quid. Are they a bargain? Well, I got some from Lidl not long ago, which were half this price, but we'll get them. Okay, adjustable spanners. I'm not going to get them from here, or grips, because they've only got the cheap versions. And we'll have a look and see what's in the tools for them, and see if they've got a better version of them. Because these are the most important. Wash pump pliers and adjustable spanners. You need top quality, not cheap rubbish, because you'll regret it. Tap spanners. We've got the old T-tap key, the old basin wrench. Don't fit anything, waste of time. Absolutely useless. I've not known it to fit anything. So don't bother with them. Get yourself one of these. Now, that one says it's 8 quid and that one says it's 16 quid, but I think it's in the wrong area. This is an adjustable one. You can press the button in instead and you can make it go longer. So, well, anyway, this is the kind of quality stuff you need. Rothenberger, the 16 quid, and they're the only ones they've got. We'll get that. Anything else we can see? Immersion heater spanners. Do we need to get one? Well, not one of these. These are just rubbish. Waste of time. You need to get a better one than these. But if this is the only one you've got, then you get this. I'm not going to get this, but because it's rubbish. If you can find the box ones, they're so much better. Now, if you're going to do radiators, you're going to need one of these for putting in radiator bags. Now, most of them now come with a hexagon nut, but these are good as well. So we'll get one of them. Now then, box spanners. Now, if you're just going to do plumbing, you're going to need box spanners because you need to take taps off, especially monoblock tap. So we've got one set at 8 quid and this one at 7 quid. So this does 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. This does 1/2 inch and 3/4. So you're going to need both of them. Mirror? Do we need a mirror? Oh yeah, they're handy little things, but mobile phones have kind of done away with mirrors. So don't spend 7 quid on a mirror, you don't need to. Again, things like manhole covers, you don't need anything like that when you're starting off. Now, definitely as an apprentice, you're going to need bleach sheets. Okay, you can pick these up from anywhere, but how much are they? 3 quid for 2 of them. You need them. We've also got these cross keys, which do meter cupboards and stuff like that. Again, loads of companies give away these for free, but you're going to need to be able to get into meter cupboards and stuff like that. So these are handy. This is 6 quid. Drain rods and stuff like that. You're not going to be interested in stuff like that when you first set off. You're just looking at your hand tools. The company you're working for will supply all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much the tools we've got here. There are some more down there, so let's check down there. Now, getting to the blow lamps. This is the important bit. You don't buy a cheap rubbish one. Something like these, DIY rubbish. Okay? Now the only two I would say for B&Q you would buy would be this one, which you've got to ask for, or this one, which is in there somewhere. It's an old dusty old boxes, so I won't be buying this one. So we'll get one of these, but they are 50 quid. My advice would be, if you can get a Rothenberger one, get a Rothenberger one. We'll get one of these, 50 quid. So don't skimp on the blow lamp, because it's your tool you're going to use it all the time. Now let's go to the tool aisle and find out exactly what other tools we're going to need, stuff like toolboxes and stuff. So let's go and have a look at that. Okay, let's start with toolboxes. These loads of toolboxes. I don't like toolboxes like this. They're great when you can stand on them, they're good for that, but they're no good for finding your tools. So, and even so, these are 30 quid, 25 quid, so they're quite expensive toolboxes. But B&Q do these kind of rucksack ones at 40 quid. They do this big thing at 40 quid, or they do this one at 34 quid. Kind of got pockets and open box. Shall we get a rucksack one? These look quite lovely, and I haven't got a rucksack one. You can get all your tools in there, and if you are an apprentice and you need to get the bus to the job, did we get buses to the job now? Like I used to? No, I didn't. My dad picked my work with my dad. So we'll get one of them because you can take it on the bus easier. So, 40 quid for a toolbox. Now then, tape measures, because we all need a tape measure, don't we? Now we start off down the bottom here. This cheapo one is 4 quid. And that is 5 metres. And then we go up to the Stanley ones, which are 8 metres, which are 11 quid. Again, you need a quality tape measure. Don't buy a cheap one because you're going to be buying them all the time. So my advice is double the price this, but it's a better tape measure. So go for the expensive ones on the tape measures because you use them all the time. Screwdrivers. Now then, you spend a fortune on screwdrivers, and as you can see, if you pan around a bit, Liam, you get in the screwdrivers. There's loads of different sets, loads of different boxes of them. The main ones you're going to use are posi 1 and posi 2 screws. My advice when you're starting off is get something like this. This is an amazing piece of kit. Even goes on an angle like that, but somebody's nicked the end off it. So you can't have that one. Something like this or this is 13 quid. And this is 12 quid. So getting something like that is better than buying a full set of screwdrivers when you're first starting out, because you can change all the bits in these. These are ratchet screwdrivers as well. We mainly use power tools anyway, so if you're going to have a screwdriver, have something like this. So get that one, because it's a bit of a better brand. Whether it's better than this, I don't know. This one does do angle, but we'll go for that one. You can get screwdrivers for Christmas or your birthday, or sets like something like that. But when we look at power tools in another video, then you're going to see you're going to be using your power tool rather than a screwdriver. Now, I do think you should get a decent electrical screwdriver though, because protection at the end of the day. So we've got loads of different sets here, but we only really need a couple of electrical screwdrivers, so then they do a cheap set. But we also need pliers and cutters and long nose pliers. So we've got this set here for 38 quid. So it's going to give us the electrical screwdrivers we need, and they're also going to be rated as well with VDE, so you're not going to get electrocuted from them. And they're also giving you your pliers, your wire cutters, and your long nose pliers. So, how much did I say it was? 38 quid. A bit expensive, but it cuts down buying individual stuff as well. Because when you go B&Q, it's always better to buy packs. Yeah, it's got a little screwdriver. We'll go for that one, shall we? Now then, spirit levels. Now really, you need 3 spirit levels. You need something like this, a bolt level, which is 20 quid for this Fat Max Stanley one. You'd need something like this one, which is another Fat Max Stanley, which is 25 quid. And then you'd also need this one, but you could also need this one as well. So it can get quite expensive for levels. Now when you're starting off as an apprentice, the main thing you're going to be doing with your level is radiators and stuff like that. I would say that is not quite long enough for most radiators. That one would be better, but this one would be more used more probably. So 25 quid nearly for that. Don't buy cheap rubbish levels. It's important that you put things straight, so you need a decent level. So I'm going to get this one, but you can buy sets which are quite good with all the sizes you need from other places rather than B&Q. But we're just seeing if we can buy everything. So I'm just going to buy this one, but you're probably going to need 3 levels. So we'll go for that one. Axles. Now you're going to need junior and senior axles. I've never really found a decent junior axle. They're always rubbish. They always end up breaking the blade constantly, whether you buy an expensive one or you buy a cheap one. Now this one's a fibre, and this one works off a normal blade. You could do like a multi-purpose rather than a junior axle. So really your junior axles don't really matter, so we'll just get a cheap one. Now senior axles do, especially if you're doing things like cutting pipe and stuff like that. So we've got these 300mm long blade ones. So we've got this Irwin at 13 quid, or we've got this B&Q one at 12 quid. So, a bit of a no-brainer there, how different. We'll go for the named brand, because it'll probably last a lot longer and probably be better made. Well, not technically, but there you go. For £1 we'll go for the name brand. Okay, so that's axles. We also need utility knives. Guys normally call them Stanley knives because Stanley brought them out, but there you go. We've got some really good quality ones with little pouches. This is kind of a flip one. This is 12 quid, but a normal Stanley knife is 7 quid, something like that. We're on a budget, comes with blades. We'll buy one of them. As well as the axles, you also need a decent handsaw as well. Now this one does ABS plastics and wood, which is good for us plumbers. I personally would like this to be more like this length rather than that length, but they haven't got any. This one's 20 quid, but this is the one you need, not just the wood one. This one cuts plastic as well. So you'll need a handsaw, so we'll get that. Okay, so we've got chisels and files here. Now, plumbers and gas engineers need files. But you don't need to spend massive amounts on files, and you don't really need to worry about chisels because what screwdrivers are for, aren't they? Anyway, this is a good little set. This is 11 quid because these are 7 quid on their own. This is 14 quid with a little round one, half round. You've got these two because when you're doing flues, you've got to make sure you file your flues up. Either or of those would be good. I would say go more for that one because you get a little pouch with it, and it's got a round file as well. So that's probably good for us doing our flues. So we'll go for that one. Water pump pliers and adjustable spanners. about the best one they've got here for adjustable spanner is this Stanley one at 13 quid. Deco all day long for me. I'm actually not going to buy the water pump pliers and spanners from here because the quality's not good enough. Something like this, 15 quid. I prefer Rothenberger. So I'll get some Rothenberger ones, I'll get some Braco spanners, and we'll add those to the price, because these do need to be quality, not cheap rubbish. I suppose really I could get an Irwin little set, that's like a little adjustable set, and I could have bought this. This is 12 quid, this is 19 quid. But for me, all day long, I'm going to buy a decent spanner. So you'll need a couple of adjustables and a couple of water pump pliers, or grips as we like to call them. So try and buy quality. Try and buy quality, not cheap, when it comes to your adjustable spanners and your water pump pliers or your grips. Hammers. Again, we really need to go for a mega expensive hammer. Well, you're not going to go for a cheap 4 quid one like that. That would just be a waste of time and you'd be laughed at on site. We could go for this type of hammer, which is 23 quid, but this is a framing hammer. We don't really need that type of stuff. Something like this is like an S-wing hammer is adequate for us. According to this, it's just over 12 quid. Or there's this one which is 19 quid, but this is like a joiner's framing hammer, we don't need them. That would probably be the perfect hammer for us, because this is all made out of one piece of metal, so you'd never pull the handle off. This kind of thing would bend if you try to pull a nail out. So we've also got these type of hammers which are 8 quid, these cheap anti-vibration ones, but these are always the best ones. You'll probably have this for a long time, even though we're only paying, hopefully, 9 quid for it. No, 12 quid for it. So you're going to need a standard hammer, claw hammer, lump hammers as well. Now, again, straight away I would go for the S-wing type hammer, because it's made out of one. It depends how good you are at hitting stuff, whether you go for this. Now, what's the weight in this one? This is 2.2 pounds and this is 3.3 pounds. Okay, so you can see the difference there. I prefer heavy hammers. I can swing these around all day. I don't like light hammers, so I would be buying one of these. Oh, it says 15 quid and that's 12 quid. So for the extra money, I'd go for the extra weight. I'm going to buy that one. But there's also these cheap ones. This is quite heavy, this one there. This is a 2 kilogram hammer. So that is proper heavy. And this one is a 1 kilogram hammer, but I prefer those. Mind you, saying that they're 8 quid. So if you're on a budget, you're buying something like that. But you want a decent hammer, so I'm going to go for that one. Okay, we also need chisels. They do a set here, again there's no price for it, but you get the Bolster Chisel and the pointed chisels. I think that's a bit wide. It's a pretty good, I would like that to be a bit flatter, which they don't seem to have. Oh yes they do, yes they do. Oh, that's a better set. So that one's probably your best set, because it gives you all 3 chisels for doing your flue holes and stuff like that, because you're going to need chisels if you're plumbing or doing gas work, so that's a good one for them. Also, these little pry bars. Oops, why somebody put them like that, God only knows. So you've got these kind of things. This one would be perfect to go in your toolbox. If you're doing general building work, these are brilliant. Also, because we've got to lift floorboards up as plumbers, because you don't use your screwdrivers, you use things like these are amazing. So these are a must for your tool bag as well, even when you're starting off, because apprentices are lifting boards, stuff like that. So we'll need one of them. Okay, had a walk around, and this is kind of the tools I can think of off the top of my head at the moment. Now the next thing is to take it to the till and get it paid for. Now they're probably not going to let me film while I fill this up in the till, So what we'll do is we'll find out how much it is and see what a bashing the Tomcat card gets. Come on then, let's get on with it. Okay, I can take the mask off now. Right, the grand total was £427.31p, but I did get £22.48 off the price in it with the 5% discount. So that's what we got there. So let's get it back to the centre, let's get it laid out, and let's see about these other tools we're going to require. Now let's finish off with these tools, what I've been talking about while we've been doing this video. Just remember though guys, there's a lot of snobbery where tools are concerned. Some guys like certain brands from others. It's not about the brands mainly, it's about the quality of the tools and basically what you can afford. So it's all about your budget. Buy a blow lamp because it's not the quality of Rothenberger. I love Rothenberger. I've used them all, well, for as long as I can remember, and they're great quality. This is the Quickfire 2, what we use here at the centre. Also, we've got these 15mm and 22mm Pipebender. Now this is a Rothenberger one, but I prefer the Monument ones. I think they're a bit more sturdy, but these are brilliant. The cheap ones are good for starting off with. So you're going to need pipe benders for 15 and 22. Like I say guys, I prefer the Rothenberger grips or water pump pliers, and I have 2 different sizes in my tool bag because you're going to need them. So I prefer these, they're really good quality. But again, some guys like Nipex, they're all different. And also, like I say in the video, this is the spanner I prefer because it has a really wide jaw and quite narrow as well, so this is great for getting on all our different size nuts. But again, good quality, strong adjustable spanners, and you need a couple of them. I've got various sizes from this big down to this big, so but at the beginning you're going to need at least one. And finally, something like this. Now this is a very, very expensive piece of kit, and I was very lucky to get this given to me from my good Jim and friend Connor. I love this for doing stuff on boilers, but you can get really cheap versions of these where you have to keep changing the bits, but you'll need something like this with loads of different bits in, sockets, you know, torques, settings, all the rest of it, for if you're doing work on boilers and stuff like that. So buying something like this is a must. Morning everyone. Today is a very lucky day for somebody, because today we're going to be delivering some tools. So the competition we've been running over the last few months has not done that well. So I've decided, because I'm in the festive spirit and it is coming up to a new year, I've decided to do the draw and deliver the tools today. We're going to Liverpool to deliver these tools, so let's get on with it. So here we are, let's hope they're in.
Hello.
Monica.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Congratulations on
Oh.
winning the tools for the competition you entered.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
what a surprise.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, it really will help me in my gas career. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
enjoy.
Oh.